Hey friends, it's Carrie
And Christina.
with dessertsonadime.com. Today we have an amazing fun recipe,
Homemade brookies.
brookies. You can find the full recipe at dessertsonadime.com, or you can always go to the link in the description below. Are you ready to cook?
Yep, let's go.
Today we're making brookies. What's a brookie?
So a brookie is a brownie and a cookie together.
It's the best of both.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The best of both worlds. So they are so good. If you love brownies and you love chocolate chip cookies, you're going to love this brookie recipe.
Yeah, so the brookie is made in a 9x13 pan, so every bite you're going to get that brownie cookie flavor. It's delicious and it's so much easier to make than you think.
Yep, definitely. And we're making it all from scratch today. And you'll be surprised how simple it is, just with like common ingredients that you probably already have in your pantry.
So today's recipe you can get on dessertsonadime.com, or you can grab the link in the description below.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get prepping. What are we going to start with?
Okay, first we're going to do the brownie layer.
Yes.
So, yes, definitely. First we're going to need 3 eggs. It's all, yeah, there we go.
How many eggs do you want to do?
Just the one.
Oh, thanks.
We're using large eggs. That usually works best in most of our baking recipes. And then we're going to add in some sugar.
White sugar, right?
Yep, granulated sugar.
Granulated, regular old sugar.
Yes, and vanilla extract.
Vanilla extract.
And then the melted butter. Is that still melted enough, or do we need to melt it a bit?
Really quickly.
Yeah.
We had pre-melted this, but we're gonna melt it just a little bit more. Yes, this is a microwave. So this is a fun and easy brownie recipe. It's just a 1 bowl brownie recipe, so you don't have to like do 2 bowls and then combine them. It's super simple. It's our favorite way to make brownies because, well, you just do 1 bowl.
Yep.
So we have our melted butter.
We're going to mix that right in. So for the brownie layer, we just recommend mixing it all by hand. You don't need a beater or a stand-up mixer for this portion of the recipe. All right. Okay. Then we're going to add in our dry ingredients.
So we have cocoa powder.
Yep, unsweetened.
Unsweetened. Any kind will work, right?
Yep.
We have some salt.
Of course.
All-purpose flour, not self-rising.
Yes.
Just regular old flour.
Mm-hmm.
You think they could use like wheat flour or something?
You could probably use the 1-to-1.
That's for like gluten-free.
Oh, that's gluten-free, yeah.
You could do also, if you wanted this to be gluten-free, you could use a 1-to-1 gluten-free flour. And if you're eating gluten-free, you know what that means.
Yes.
But it basically means it's a perfect substitute. They have all the stuff in it that you need to make it for you to use it in regular recipes.
Yes, and she just added in baking powder, definitely to help them rise. And we just recommend that you stir this by hand. We like to use these plastic spoons, but just because they're sturdy, but you could definitely use a wooden spoon if you use those in your kitchen as well.
So meanwhile, we've already preheated the oven to 350 degrees, and we have already greased a 9x13 pan. So when she's finished with that, we're going to just dump that in here, and then we're going to make our cookie layer. Okay, our brownie mix looks like it's completely mixed through. You don't want to over mix it, and we're just going to pour this into the 9x13 baking pan.
You're going to put that in the sink for me, or are you going to look at it? So it's okay, guys, if there's some lumps in the brownies. That's completely normal. It does not have to be perfectly smooth. So don't freak out if you see those in there. Is it good?
Very good. Okay, I'm going to get the cookie ingredients out while you spread that out.
Get it all in there. And we're just going to spread it out into an even layer.
Now I'm getting the ingredients out for our cookie layer. So are we going to bake this now, or does it wait until the end?
It waits until the end.
Right, so we're just going to push this to the side, and then we're going to put our cookie layer on top, and then you bake them all together. Ooh, it's going to be good.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna switch. We're gonna set this aside. Are you gonna lick that?
Maybe so.
And then we're going to make our cookie layer. Now this is super fun to make with the kids. So get the whole entire family involved in this. It's very easy to make. So to make our cookie layer, we are going to use a hand mixer, but not hand, yeah, a hand mixer, not by hand, but we don't need it to be, you don't want them to be over mixed, right?
Right.
When you do cookies. To make the cookie layer, we're going to start off with some butter.
Now this butter is softened at room temperature. You do want it softened to make sure that the cookie layer is creamy and blends well with your sugars.
And then we're going to cream that together with sugar. It's just granulated white sugar, nothing fancy, and then some vanilla. So you don't want your butter melted. You want it to be softened at room temperature, so we can cream them together to make the delicious cookie batter. Because you're not wanting it as runny as a brownie batter because they're cookies.
Exactly.
Once this is pretty well combined, we're going to add 1 egg. I think I'm going to go ahead and add an egg.
Okay. Yep. You just want it like light and fluffy, and then mix in your egg.
I'm going to scrape down the sides for you.
Thank you so much. It's looking good.
There we go. Getting all that off.
Make sure it's well combined.
Okay, then we're going to switch to stirring by hand, right?
Yep.
Okay. When we make our cookies, we like to make the rest of the ingredients by hand so you don't over mix because you don't get those fluffy, delicious cookies, right?
Right. They will get flat. So when we add in the dry ingredients, we always do it by hand, and you want to mix it till it's just combined. Be careful not to over mix. So we just throw the dry ingredients right into the same bowl instead of using like a 2-bowl process, and we've never had any issues with that. So we're going to add some baking powder.
Oops! We totally forgot to do the brown sugar. You want to add the brown sugar in with the granulated sugar. I just wasn't thinking. So we're going to add it in now because we want to get that all creamed together with that butter before we add in the dry ingredients. I feel like that's super important because when you're creaming it together, it prevents a grainy cookie. So, but don't worry, if you made the mistake like us, you can add it in right before you add your flours and you're good to go.
Yep.
I was thinking they looked weird. Now it makes sense. I was like, awfully light for cookies. My bad.
We got it. Luckily, we caught it before we added in the dry ingredients. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yummy.
Make sure you're just scraping down the bowls periodically so that you get all the ingredients combined.
Yeah, you don't want like clumps of butter
Right.
that don't have any of the sugar and the egg and the vanilla in there. Okay. So it's looking good. So I think we're about ready to do our hand mixing. And what we're going to add when she's finished is some flour, some baking powder, and some salt.
Okay.
Flour.
And this is where we do want to switch to mixing it by hand.
This is fun, you helping me, because you're just doing it all.
I'm getting stronger. My
I
muscles
love
are
it.
getting
I
stronger.
love it.
I love it.
So now we're making the cookie dough. So it goes in from like the creamed butter into making a dough. Now we didn't add in the chocolate chips yet. I personally like to wait and add them at the very end.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's hard. They'll get in the way when you're combining your dough.
Yep. Okay. I agree 100%.
Once that beginning, it's going to look very like floury, but you keep blending it together until push through. Have your sister help you behind the scenes.
Yes.
And then a dough will form. So, and you can also do like a hand mixer with a dough hook.
Yes.
Not a hand mixer, what's it called?
Stand-up mixer.
A stand-up mixer.
You could also use your hand mixer if you wanted to. Just use it on the lowest speed. That way it doesn't get over mixed and you can watch it quickly. So,
yeah.
Okay, now we're going to fold in the chocolate.
Chocolate chips.
Yes. Fold it in.
And you could easily change this recipe by doing different chocolate chips or even doing like M&Ms instead of chocolate chips if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You would just swap them out right here.
Yep, white chocolate chips would be so good.
I'm thinking like, you know, M&Ms for like holidays.
Yeah, you could put in festive ones. Yes, that's a cute idea.
Easter ones, Christmas ones.
I like it.
Halloween one. You want me to keep going?
Are there Halloween M&Ms? I've never seen that.
I don't think there are.
Should we invent it?
Regular M&Ms look kind of Halloween.
You could just pick out the brown and the orange ones.
And the yellow, right?
Yeah, I think the yellow
Okay,
would
so
work.
now that the dough is finished, it's time to assemble the brookie.
All right, so instead of spreading this dough out evenly on top, we like
no
to.
way you could do that.
Yeah, it's too thick. So we like to drop it in spoonfuls. Today we're going to use a cookie scoop. That will work as well. And just drop it as evenly as possible over the brownie dough.
Okay, I'm gonna do a couple, then I'm gonna let you do it because I don't know. Like that?
Yep. And it's okay. It's not going to cover it entirely, but you do want them pretty close together so that each, when you cut them, each piece gets a little cookie bite, you know?
Well, and just like your cookies, they're gonna spread as they bake.
Yep.
Am I doing good?
You're doing so good. I'm so proud.
Thank you. I might just do it all.
Okay.
Unless
I believe
you
it.
want, do you want to do it?
No, I'm not feeling left out.
I
You're
didn't.
good.
She wanted to use the cookie scoop, and I wanted to use the 2-spoon method. But she was right. I give her props because this is working fine. Sometimes our scoop doesn't work good, but this is working great today. So it must be in a good mood.
I like a good cookie scoop personally. So just drop it out as evenly as possible. Like Carrie said, it's going to spread, so do not try to spread it in an even layer. You're going to be tempted to, but don't do it. It's going to do it on its own.
Unnecessary work.
Yes.
So now I'm going to go back.
Use it all though, yeah.
Don't.
No cookie batter left behind. Because you don't have to worry about them touching when they bake, because that's fine. So just get it all in there.
Well, and you want them like this because as it bakes, you want that chocolate to be seen on the top too, because that's what makes the brookie so pretty.
Yes.
Is the combo. If you were to
see
try
the
it,
brownie peeking through.
Yeah.
Brookies are one of my favorite guilty pleasures, I'm not going to lie. Because I love chocolate chip cookies and I love brownies.
You do love a good brownie.
I can't. Brownies are my kryptonite.
Okay, I'm trying to get as much out.
Look at you.
Look how good it looks. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want you guys to see real good that it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yep.
As you can see, they're just balls up on there. Do I smash them down?
No.
No.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. It's tempting.
Like Carrie said earlier, just wasted work. Don't waste your energy. Now we are going to bake it. We're baking it at 350.
About 25 to 30 minutes-ish.
Yep.
How do we know when they're done?
So it's just like brownies. We're going to insert a toothpick into the center, and when it comes out clean. So it is tricky because you don't want to get it in a chocolate chip. So, because that's not going to be clean.
So you might have to try a couple pokes.
Yeah. And then it's good. And the top will be nice and golden brown, just like a beautifully baked cookie.
Yeah. Okay, off to the oven it goes. It's done. Okay, so our brookies are done, and we allowed it to cool. How long do you think they should let it cool?
I would cool before you cut it at least 15 to 20 minutes. Right. I like to put it on a wire rack so that the air can get all around the pan.
Circulating. But I do recommend that you allow it to cool some because when you try to cut it, it's going to be a gooey mess. But it's still slightly warm to touch because I still want, you know, warm brownie and cookies. So let's get cutting.
Yep.
Cutting. We have lots of options here.
I just do the knife. And then these I got to kind of help get them out here, so.
Now, if you have trouble, which you don't seem like you're having trouble, so that's good. Because you could always use a plastic knife if you seem that it, what's it called, where it like bunches up on your knife, and you just wipe it down in between.
It's like brownies kind of do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like brownies do. But these are holding up really well. See the little, cute little guy?
See if I can get this out.
It looks amazing. Now, Christina's going to give us some tips on how to know when it's done because it can be a little confusing.
Yeah, so we do the toothpick test. So if you don't know what that is, you put a toothpick into the brownie mixture. Try to go into the brownie mixture. When the toothpick comes out clean, it's done. The reason you don't want to put it in the cookie mixture is that we have gooey chocolate chips. So that could come out gooey even when it is done if you hit a chocolate chip. So like on this, I put mine like in this area where it's definitely brownie only, and it came out beautifully clean, which tells us that it's ready.
Brookies are really that easy to make, and they're just as delicious as well. You can go to
dessertsonadime.com to find the full recipe.
or you can also grab the link in the description below. Are you ready to eat?
Yes, I'm excited.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our family-friendly recipes. Is it good? I'm excited.